We are live casting now because it's almost 7:03, so many people are watching also on the other platforms. So Dr. Engin, maybe slowly we can start.
Okay, all right, okay. So
did you test everybody is okay with the sharing and everything is okay?
Yes, okay.
I think mine will be okay.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I got it.
Thank you very much and welcome everybody. Okay, start, sir.
Okay. Değerli hocalarım, değerli katılımcılar, hepiniz hoş geldiniz. Bugün hep birlikte Webinar on Tourism in Turkey, A New Era of Development isimli webinarı gerçekleştireceğiz. Hepinize katılımınız için teşekkür ediyorum. Bu bir uluslararası panel olduğu için İngilizce konuşacağız. From now on we will get to switch to English. Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you joining this webinar on tourism in Turkey, a new era of development. And we have international expert panelists here. Okay, and we have a total of nine speakers, 9 researchers here, and they're here to share their knowledge, their views, and their researches with us. And also, we will have a guest of honor here. Dr. Taleb Rifai will be here to address us about Turkiye. Okay, and first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Engin Aytekin. I'm an assistant professor at Afyonkarahisar University, and you're hearing my voice from Afyon. Okay, and I just need to inform you a few of the let me say rules. First of all, all the delegates need to mute their computers while the one is presenting. The other one, for all the participants, all the participants will receive a certificate of attendance. So this is a good opportunity. And second one is this seminar is being recorded. So whenever if you believe that you're just missing it, then you have another opportunity to watch it and get to know the ideas from this webinar. And the other one is, if the participants are interested in any of the researchers, you can go to their bio and search for the researcher. And other one, I will ask all the speakers to stick to 8 to 9 minutes because we have time limits, and we have probably 90 minutes all. So I will ask my dear participants to stick to the 8 to 10 minutes limits. And finally, the other one is questions. I think we will get the questions at the end of the session, if any. And now, before we go to introducing the speakers, I will ask my guest of honor to address to the webinar participants, Dr. Taleb Rifai. He was the former president of United Nations World Tourism Organization for 8 years. And Doctor?
Yes, can you hear me? Am I heard okay?
Yes.
Okay. Turkey is a wonderful destination. It's one of the top destinations in the world, that's for sure. And the new trends now are going up again. It's a very famous destination for Europeans and Middle Eastern travelers. Now, why is Turkey so important? Because it has natural beauty, and history. History of Turkey is a very interesting history. It's the link between the East and the West, between Europe and Asia. Really, not only Istanbul, but the whole of Turkey. So what I want to say here is Turkey is a very important destination for us. I come from Jordan. I'm speaking to you from Jordan, Amman. And this is a very destination that we will look forward to visit at some point in time. Now, what do we mean by that? What we mean by that is that we have to go visit Turkey one time in a lifetime, once in a lifetime at least. Now, new trends now after COVID. COVID hit us all to 2019, 2020, 21. 22 is a recovery. Now in 22, already Turkey is becoming now a famous destination, a destination that everybody wants to come and visit. People are running away from their daily life, going into other countries. International tourism is becoming very important here. So what I want to say here is that Turkey can, if it capitalizes on its assets, like Istanbul, for example, Izmir, and Ankara, they are cities that attract so many visitors. Also the beaches, the Mediterranean beaches and the Asian Sea beaches are very important for Turkey. Now, what do we mean by that? What we mean by that is that Turkey would come again, bounce again now as a new trend, but it would bounce much faster than many other destinations in the world because it's a dream in the minds of everybody, especially Germans and British, European travelers. Now, I wanted to say this for now. I have many data, but I don't want to share the data with you. I'm sure you will have more data to present to us. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Rufai, for your ideas and views. And now I'll ask my dear fellow academicians to introduce themselves. Let me start with Dr. Pamukcu. Would you please introduce yourself very shortly?
Yes, okay, Dr. Emin, thank you so much. Dear participants and guests, I am Hüseyin Pamukcu, and then I have been working gastronomy and culinary arts department at Afyonkarahisar University in Afyonkarahisar, Turkey. This is just a little short bio.
Thank you. Thank you. Perfect. Dr. İbrahim Çetin, would you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Dr. Ibrahim, acting as the Associate Professor in Tourism Management Department in Akdeniz University. And I have been teaching in tourism industry for almost more than 15 years, and I have some experience in internationally. So I'm very happy meeting with you here with the very precious doctors here. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. And Dr. Volkan Akgül, would you please introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Volkan Akgül. I'm working in the Culture and Tourism Ministry in General Promotional Directorate, and I'm an expert. I have been working in there for 15 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Perfect. Dr. Hidayet Kışalı, would you please introduce yourself?
Okay, hello, my name is Hidayet Kışalı, and I've been working at Afyonkarahisar University for 4 years. Before that, I had my PhD from University of Leicester, UK, and today I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. If I'm not mistaken, Dr. Demet Genceli, is it right? Yeah, I think.
Hello. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, we can.
Yes, I think I have a little bit internet and Wi-Fi connection problems here because I'm in another country, not in Turkey right now. And because of the hotel's Wi-Fi problems, now I may have some problems too here. I'm working in Istanbul Kent University Gastronomy and Culinary Arts Department for 3 years, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, Doctor. Wonderful. And we were supposed to have Dr. Akif Gökçe, but I think he's going to be with us later. Later, he will be with us.
I am here.
He is here.
Oh, doctor, I'm sorry. Yeah, please.
Hello, everyone. I am Akif Gökçe. I work in Sakarya University of Applied Sciences as an assistant professor. I have my research interests are tourism taxonomy and English for specific purposes. I am very happy to be with you, and hello, everyone again. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor. And we were supposed to have Canan Tanrısever here, but because of health issues, she's not going to be here. But we will have Oğuzhan Ceylan here. Yes, he's a professional tourist guide. So please.
Hello, I'm here to present the presentation that's already been prepared by Miss Canan. My professor isn't well at the moment. I'm here, also happy to be here.
Thank you. We are sending her our best wishes and hope that she will recover very soon.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you. So according to the list we just made, let's start with the first. Let's start with the first person. Let me. Okay. So, Dr. Ibrahim Çetin, would you please take the lead in your presentation, please?
Thank you very much. I have shared my screen. Well, dear Secretary General, dear Pamukçu, dear Professor, dear listeners, I cannot tell you how I am excited for this meeting, but I'm also very honored for giving information about Turkey. You know that, as Dr. Talep Rifai stated that when the issue became Turkey and the tourism, it is very hard to talk about Turkey, and it's not easy because of its richness, because of its cultural background, historical background, and natural beauty, and other diversified forms of potential for the tourism development. Of course, the things that I am going to explain or give you here, the things that you know also. But however, that with very pleasurely, I'm going to try to give you some indicators from Turkey. Of course, it is not very easy to be able to talk about a country, Turkey, which has very vast and immense tourism attractions and the potentials as culturally and historically, archaeologically, climate, potential, flora and the fauna, and also with the very strong tourism industry. Of course, this time after the COVID break gave a chance or an opportunity for some countries on the name of developing and improving their tourism industry, not only for the domestic tourism, for locals, also for the entire globe or for all tourism demand internationally. So, as you know that Turkey has reached its industrial level today with the developments parallel to the tourism development in entire world. So every country has its own story, and the Turkey has its own story. And do you know that the tourism industry emerges with the movement of people from their usual places to the other locations or geographical places with the different motifs. So the Turkey enables and holds very unique values and attractions for the tourism demand. And if we would like to say that the development of the Turkish tourism, we can stress and highlight the years of 1960s with the establishment of Ministry of Culture and the Tourism, and after that the years 1985 with the acceptance of the law to 2634 with the number of this number 2634 tourism incentive law. After those years, Turkey has reached to the different stage and offered all potential to the entire tourism demand. So we can say that stepping point started from the years 1985. And I'm going to share with you some indicators. Of course, you know those, but just on the name of remembering this, I'm going to share with this. And with my presentation, after I have showed you those indicators, and also with the development and with the occurrence of the COVID break, I'm going to highlight some important global points. After that, I'm going to summarize. Of course, summarizing the Turkish reach potential is not very easy, but I'm going to stress just very small attentions to some tourism products as rural. So here, when we have a glance at the position of tourism incomes in our exports, we can see the years 1989, it was just under the 1.0. So but when we have reached the year 1985, we can see that the share of tourism income in the total export is 2.8. And if I want to pass very fast, we can see that in 2015, it reached 2.6. Yes, please.
Did you buy them? So I have a call at 4 o'clock. So can we do it like 3 o'clock? Okay.
I wrote something.
Sorry, asking any question to me?
Dr. Wolfgang, would you please mute your computer?
Bye.
Okay, so I'm continuing on the name of saving the time. So we can see that the bed capacity and the years here in this table. As you see here in the table, in the years 1966, the number of the facilities 165. So year by year, especially after the year 1985, when the 26 and the 34 number tourism incentive law began implemented, we can see the increment of the number of the facilities and the rooms and the bed capacity. So in the year 1985, 689 facilities, but in 2000 it reached 1,824 facilities with the number of more than 300 beds. And when we have reached 2022, and also here we have changed the calculation method. here we have added the municipality licensed hotels and the baths into the tourism licenses, and then total facilities reached 16,264, and the total rooms reached more than 800. And today, the Turkish tourism industry has almost 2 million bed capacity. Among the European countries, Turkey is the fourth rank or fourth rank or the fifth rank with this capacity. So it shows that Turkey has great potential to welcome all guests from entire globe, from all over the world. So, and these hotels and especially the accommodation forms are 5-star hotels in Turkey, comparing to the other European countries, 3-star or motels and others. But in Turkey, we have very luxury hotels, and it shows that Turkey has a great potential and good quality facilities in the tourism industry compared to the other countries. Of course, many good quality hotels available in the entire globe. But here we can say after the year 1985, Turkey today has reached almost 2 million beds in a very good quality level hotels. And again, this table shows separate the tourism license, municipality license, and investment license, total 16,000 facilities. Well, today, after the very effective COVID break in the entire globe, we have seen that all the destinations lost their guests and the hotel lost their guests. And this table shows that the occupancy rates of Turkey in Istanbul, Ankara, Antalya, in entire Anatolia, and the comparison with Europe. Is in 2019, when the occupancy rates were 67.8, in the year when the COVID break sharply affected all industries, all tourism industries in the entire globe, in Turkey in 2020, it decreased to the 36.7. In 2021, it began increasing again, reaching 51.2. But in this year, in 2022, in passing year 2022, Turkish, the occupancy rates in Turkey again reached almost the same level as a good news from Turkish tourism and hotel industry. When we have compared this result with the occupancy rates in Europe, we can see that occupancy rates in Europe is 65.1 and Turkey has 2.4 marks higher than Europe comparatively. So it shows that the Turkey has begun very fastly recovering itself after the COVID break. Very good news. And of course, in the entire globe is trying to recover very fast, and very negative situation here because of the global recession is also influential on these occupancy rates. Probably
Doctor, I'm sorry, but we just you just run out of time, so we just need to. I can just give you 1 more minute to wrap up. Is it okay?
I got it, doctor. So I'm very fast. I'm going to show you the slides, and then I'm going to highlight. Well, in the tourism industry, we know that labor intensive industry in entire globe, COVID break has affected to the labor power. So many destinations lost their powers. In Turkey, it is also not as the same as in the entire globe, but we can say that this year, directly working staff number of the staff in the hotels reached 300,000, and it's a very indirectly more than 1,300,000 staff is working with the tourism industry. It is very important. So in the entire globe, we need to care about the new staff and the staff working in the hotels or in the tourism industry, their working conditions and the reasons we need to increase the level of working conditions in the entire tourism industry, not only in Turkey, also in the world. So we need to care about this. So again, I would like to stress you that the Turkish tourism industry is very rich because of the potential. You know, the Turkey is known as the 3S tourism, but in addition to those very rich historical background, because of the geographical position where the East and the West culture meets, enables Turkey great potential, and the cultural tourism demand is increasing. In addition to that, faith tourism is increasing, and it's going to be reached 31% by the 2030, according to the United Nations World Tourism Organizations. And another potential in Turkey is natural tourism potentials and the rural areas and the natural beauties and the village tourism or something. Those things enable Turkey a potential to develop tourism industry, because the demand trend direct to the natural area. So Turkey offers great potential to the tourism demand after the COVID break. So we suggest tourism authorities to develop Turkish tourism as a new product on the basis of natural tourism. And in addition to every form of the tourism, of course, as a result, I would like to give a message that the tourism, the core elements of the tourism, people and the culture of the destinations, natural environment, and the diversified attractions. So those things should be very well planned, developed, and managed in a sustainable way that really considers its stakeholders, visitors, locals, providers, and staff, etc., on the name of sustaining the tourism.
Okay,
and
Doctor, I'm really sorry, but
potential to the tourism, entire tourism demand. Sorry for taking your time. When the Turkey became issue in the tourism, of course, it is not very easy to summarize in this form, but this was a repetition. I would like to present my regards and sincere regards to all participants. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Doctor. As you said, when the issue is Turkey, when the issue is about the tourism in Turkey, so it's not easy to limit it. Yes, you're right. Thank you. And before we move to the next speaker, I just want you to meet Professor Dr. Wolfgang. And hello, welcome. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you for, and I think it's a very good timing that you do this webinar, because obviously Turkey is coming back and has a very good future. So Turkiye, I have to say now.
Yeah.
So I've been several times, of course, in Turkey. So I'm a Berliner, so even as a child, I grew up with baklava and doner kebab and Turkish kids in my class. So Turkey is not really a foreign country for me. And last year, Taleb Rifai is also with us. Last year, I had a great pleasure to spend some time in Bodrum together with Taleb and his wonderful wife, and the mayor of Bodrum, and who had a very forward-looking view on tourism. So that was also very impressive. So I'm a person who has been for many years working with the Chinese market, and so also we did a small project with the Turkish tourism ministry before the pandemic to how to get more Chinese tourists to coming to Turkey, and of course due to the pandemic all this was not moving forward. But Engin, can I share my screen? Do I have the right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Just one. I just did just quickly one little statistics. I hope you can see that. So that you can see that Turkey had been very fastly developing as a tourist destination. So in 2017, you had about 250,000 arrivals, and that jumped by almost doubled from 17 to 19 to almost 500,000. And of course, 2020, you can see it went down to 40,000 and has not recovered yet. But as you certainly know, the Chinese government just a few weeks ago announced that the borders are reopened, and from the 6th of February, also group tours are starting, and individuals can also travel again. So therefore, I think that it's also a good time to look again at the Chinese market. There are, of course, we just heard from my previous speakers, all the wonderful natural beauties and all the culture and civilization you can see, but also, of course, health tourism is very important in China, and hair transplantation and other things. And I know already there are some Turkish companies working successfully, or have been working before the pandemic successfully with the Chinese market. So therefore, I can only encourage everybody. And so maybe if you allow me also to mention that, so we have just published actually 2 days ago with the help of Reza Sultani, we had a webinar also where we were talking about this publication, which it did just a few days ago was coming out, which is called the China Outbound Tourism Handbook 2023, and which is written in a very practical way. So to talk about what should you do to prepare yourself for the new Chinese market, because they will come to Turkey, and a lot of people have special interests. So you will have more people not only interested in the culture and the buildings, but also in music, in art, in traditional clothing, dancing, all these things. So for all this, there is also interest. So don't think that Chinese are only coming in a big group behind the tour guide with a flag. These groups are also existing, but you don't earn much money from them. But there are a lot of other more educated and more interested people, and I think Turkey has a lot to offer. And also, last point maybe to make, we have been talking before the pandemic about over tourism, and you had places where there were too many people. Chinese do not come to Turkey for the beach. So if you want to go to the beach, there are a lot of very nice beaches much closer to China. In China, in Vietnam, in South Korea, Bali. So there were 2019, there were 1 million Chinese people going to Bali. So they will not fly 10 hours. Even though there are, of course, Turkish Airlines is having very good connections again, but they will not fly 10 hours just to go to a beach. So you can bring, if you offer the right products, you can bring Chinese tourists to other parts of the country at other times of the year than your traditional markets, which come, many of them come just, for instance, from Germany for the sunshine and the beach. So you don't have, it's not about putting more people in the summer on the coast where already you have enough customers, but you can bring them to the hinterland and also at other times of the year. So this is an opportunity. It's not only numbers, it's not only the biggest source market, but it's also that you can use them to minimize seasonality and minimize that everybody goes to the same few spots. So that's my little intervention. I don't want to take much time. I think there's a lot of very important speakers lined up, and I wish you all success. And if we can help you in any way, please let us know.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for your invaluable contribution. Okay, let's proceed. And if I'm not mistaken, it is, let me check again. Dr. Demet. Dr. Demet, I'm really sorry, I can't see your surname at the moment.
Yeah.
Yes, if it's okay, can you please do your presentation?
I'm showing my screen, just a second. Just a second, I'm trying to share my screen.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hi, dear participants. Today I will give a brief information about sustainability and moreover, the new trend of tourism, the rising star, glamping. So I will start with sustainability. So sustainability is applicable in tourism, in all types of tourism, in all types of destinations, including the mass tourism and also the niche tourism segments. And as you know, sustainability principles refer to the environmental, economic, and social cultural aspects of tourism development. So we have three dimensions here. In environmental, we have environmental resources, and these are very key elements in tourism development. And we need to conserve the natural heritage and biodiversity. In socio-cultural, the structure of host communities, they conserve their built and living cultural heritage and traditional values, and they also contribute to intercultural understanding and tolerance. In economic dimension, there are very long-term economic operations, and it provides the socio-economic benefits to the destinations and all the stakeholders in tourism industry, including the stable employment and income earning opportunities and social services to host communities. And it contributes also to the poverty alleviation. So we have three dimensions of sustainability. In sustainable tourism, so as you know, it is not a specific type of tourism, and it requires all the participation of all stakeholders, as well as the strong political leadership to ensure the wide participation and consensus building. So for the achieving sustainable tourism, it must be a continuous process, and it requires monitoring of impacts, introducing the necessary preventive or corrective measures if it is necessary. We have positive impacts in sustainable tourism, like job creation, cultural heritage preservation, wildlife preservation, landscape restoration, and as you know, there are very more. So in sustainable tourism, there are many people that confusing with its ecotourism. But as I said, the sustainable definition, it doesn't involve only ecology or ecotourism. It includes also the socio-cultural side and also the economic side. Yes. So I want to say something about glamping because glamping is a new trend and it helps for sustainable tourism. And it is now exploring, it has been exploring for a few years. So in glamping, as you can see here, the photo of a sample of a glamping camp. And what is glamping? So glamping is the mixture of glamours and camping together. And it is a recent and yet not very well explored concept that derives from nature tourism, actually. And it emerged as a new trend where glamour is combined with camping. And holiday makers want to experience memorable moments in which they are in contact with nature, but they don't want to lose their comfort and the luxuries accommodation needs. So here, as you see, there are many accommodation types of glamping. For example, the tents, but they are very comfortable and luxurious. There are tree houses, there are caravans, there are nature lodges, glamping caves, glamping huts, glamping igloos. There are many accommodation types, and the glamping is serving to all segments, to all economic segments of tourists. From economy segment to luxury segment, there are many tourists that they can enjoy glamping with their families. The people loves nature, people over 50 years old, or people with high income people. There are many segments of glamping demands as we see. There are also some photos from different types of accommodations for economy and mid-scale segments. These are just examples. So glamping is contacting with nature without sacrificing the comfort. And also glamping as an emerging environmental ambassador. Here I will tell more about that. Glamping encourages people to reconnect with the environment. So a glamping trip allows the visitors to gaze up at the night sky and observe the stars. And also there are many opportunities for people, for example, taking picture, learning about local animals, observing the animals, birds, fishing in nearby lakes or seas or rivers, and immersing themselves in local environments. So glamping preserves the environment. Second, glamping makes use of off-grid technology that some glamping sites in the world, they use renewable energy sources. For example, solar energy, water generators, wind turbines, and of course it is expensive, but they pay off over time, and it protects the environment with the technology. The third, glamping promotes the interest in food source. It means that many glamping owners, many glamping camp owners, they product their own local foods, and they distribute it to their visitors, which promotes an interest in local food production, local food growth or harvest. Also, the tourists are participate to the local food harvest system. And visitors can participate in foraging groups. They can also edible fruit and vegetables. And as a result of helping to the local communities, owners can also reduce their carbon footprint while serving food to the guests. So glamping preserves the environment, it maintains the welfare of the local people, and it teaches about the natural environment. Here I searched from Google the glamping trends that people searched from 2018 until today. So you can see there's an improvement while searching what is glamping, where are the glamping camps in Turkey, what does it mean. So you can see there's an improving while searching glamping in Turkey. This is the last 5 years figure. And we say that there are some regions in Turkey that supporting glamping, have glamping camps, mostly in Muğla region, and Çanakkale, Kırklareli, Balıkesir, and Antalya. These are the most regions that you can find glamping camps in Turkey. And I can say that there are over 35 glamping camps can be found in Turkey, as I said, from the low income to luxurious part. So these are some photos of some popular glamping camps in Turkey, in Gümüşlük, in İğneada, in Şile, in Gökova, in Faralya. This is one of the most known glamping camp in Turkey. And I want to come to my discussion. So we can say that there is a big potential in Turkey for glamping. And also the COVID pandemic has also affected the increase in awareness and interest in glamping business in Turkey and in the world also. So also the rapid development of communication technologies and the wider tourism sector tourists due to the developments and expectations who wants comfortable nature when they come together. So glamping is one of the niche tourism trend became the niche tourism trend after pandemic. And also local authorities should find some marketing ways in order to develop the potential of glamping, because as I said, glamping with sustainable tourism, it brings the sustainable economic model also to the region. It contributes to the national budget. We are local people and creates a local development model by providing added value to the country's budget as well. And also with gastronomy, the local food, the local handcrafts, this is also important and supportive for sustainable glamping. Also, glamping tourism should focus on providing visitors with information related to their social environment and sense of control, but all the stakeholders, I mean all the government side, the hoteliers, the guides, the travel agencies, local people, and the tourists themselves, they should pay a particular attention and to factors affecting their attitudes. And also the promotion and the marketing side is important. And the government should also support the promotion and marketing of glamping tourism. And people may have a variety of activities in Turkey, because Turkey is a very suitable place for all bicycle, canoeing, trekking, entertainments, meditations, water sport, everything can be done in Turkey under tourism activities. And last but not least, the Black Sea region is one of the most preferred region in Turkey, but there is no awareness that Black Sea region is suitable for glamping. If the government and the local side support that, it will also contribute to the tourism in Turkey, the Black Sea region's sustainable tourism activities with glamping. That's all from me.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you so much
Genceli.
for listening.
Thank you for this great presentation. And thank you for sticking to the time as well. And we will continue with Dr. Pamukçu.
See my presentation now?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yeah. Thank you so much, dear moderator, Dr. Engin Aytekin. And you are all welcome our webinar. First of all, I would like to thank Professor Anukrati Sharma to introduce me, Mr. Reza. And Mr. Reza gave us this opportunity, and thank you very much to him. And then The reason why I am here today to make a presentation about gastronomy tourism, gastronomy routes, and gastronomy tours in Turkey. And then the concept of gastronomy takes place in the term of the curiosity to eat well, healthy, well-arranged, pleasant, and delicious cuisine, eating order and system. And the United Nations World Tourism Organization Committee on Tourism and Competitiveness defines gastronomy tourism as a type of tourism activity characterized by the visitor's experience in connection with food and related products and activities during travel. And gastronomy tourism, which consists of authentic, traditional, or innovative culinary factors, and the main travel motivation about experiencing a new food and beverage experience, it gives tourists the opportunity to experience the historical and cultural elements of a region. And it is known that agriculture, culture, and tourism elements form the basis of gastronomy tourism. And these three elements, which have the characteristic of a particular region, increase the sympathy of the visitors to the region and the attractiveness to the region. And these are also important for sustainable gastronomy tourism. And sustainable gastronomy tourism benefits destination in terms of developing economic opportunities, preserving natural and cultural heritage, such as protecting biological diversity, evaluating and protecting historical and cultural heritage resources, and improving living conditions. And we can say for gastro-tourists, the type of tourist of all ages, ethnicity, and income levels who travel specifically to learn about new cultures through unforgettable dining experiences. And gastro-tourists stay longer when they visit any kind of cities and gastro cities compared to other tourists, and they spend more on there while traveling. And then let us check gastro routes and tours have started to become one of the most advanced products in the field of tourism. And I hope you had lunch, because I can make you hungry with the topics I will talk about after this part. First of all, I would like to say kebab routes and tours. Kebab is defined as meat that is cooked directly over the fire or in one of the prominent taste pot without water. And it is stated that one of the prominent tastes in Turkish cuisine is kebab. And the other routes and route we can say doner. Doner is defined as a food that is given a cylinder shape by passing onto a skewer and cooked by rotating it horizontally or vertically over a high fire after the meat obtained from cattle and small cattle or poultry is prepared and marinade is a flat from. And another routes and tours, we can say meatball. Meatballs are defined as a meal. And then types and shapes of meatballs vary depending on where they are made. It is stated that there are 291 different meatball recipes belonging to region in Turkey. And the other routes and tours, we can say lahmacun and pita. Lahmacun is defined as a food that is cooked by putting a mortar. And then in terms of lahmacun, Gaziantep and Şanlıurfa cities in Turkey stand out, we can say. And çiğ köfte routes and tours. Çiğ köfte is defined as a food by kneading raw lamb, minced with bulgur, tomato paste, garlic, onion, parsley, isot, and various spices. Another routes and tours, we can say the mantı and çiğ börek. Mantı is defined as a food cooked with methods such as putting in water, baking, frying in oil, and after ingredients like mince, meat, potato, cheese can be added to the ravioli dough. And cheese route and tours also is really popular in Turkey. In Turkey, local cheese is produced using different production techniques based on regional conditions, animal breeds and species and cultural habits, and there are many types of cheese. And hazelnut routes and tours. Hazelnut is defined as a hard-shelled, oily and starchy fruit that grows on small trees from beechaceae. And apricot routes and tours. the origin of apricot dates back to the Turkestan, China, and Central Asia, but Turkey ranks first in apricot production in the world. And honey also, we can see all city of Turkiye, honey routes and tours. And baklava and künefe routes and tours, baklava is expressed as a product identified with the city of Gaziantep, and Antep baklava has been included in the list of products that received geographical indication in 2007. And fig routes and tours, the fig is defined as the sweet and fleshy fruit of the tree, which has broad slice, leaves from the mulberry family. And figs have a history as old as human history, and many civilizations have attached more meaning to figs than food. And cockroach also, I really like it. It's possible to say that Turkey is quite rich in terms of street delicacies. And then maybe the best street delicacies we can say in Turkey, cockroach, and is defined as a food made from the large and small intestines of sheep or lambs. And tea roots and tours, when we look at the consumption rate, it is seen that Turkey ranks first, not China and India, which are the leaders in production. And olive oil roots and tours, Turkey is among the leading countries in olive production in the world. And citrus roots and tours, citrus is grown in place where the Mediterranean climate is dominant, and it is stated that it is the most produced fruit group in the world. And pastrami also, the meat fresh for a long time, the pastrami is a really good solution. And Turkish delight is defined as a confectionery prepared with water, sugar, starch and acid, citric acid, potassium bitartary or tartaric acid. And Afyonkarahisar is capital of Turkish delight in Turkiye. And hosted by Afyon Kocatepe University Tourism Faculty, we organized 6 International Gastronomy Tourism Studies Congress and also Gastro Afyon, the tourism festival in 2022. And then lots of gastronomic products, we served all our participants. And then I can say, if you want to feel gastronomy, you can come our country and also the UNESCO city of Afyonkarahisar. And you can get more information about my studies on my website. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you, Dr. Engin.
Thank you, Dr. Pamukçu. It was a great promotion for us. That was great. Thank you. And you also made us really hungry. Thank you for doing this. And we will keep with the presentation. And the next one is Dr. Hidayet Kışlalı. Can you move with that?
Yeah, hello. Just a second.
Okay, there's just one question. If you don't mind, can I answer the question? And the question says that, can we get the presentation? Yes, you can get the presentations. When this webinar is ended, you can go to the website and you can find about the researchers, the presentations. You can find them all. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. Are you able to see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Hello again. First of all, I need to say that I'm the soap operas or film tourism or film industry tourism always interested me. So I decided to look into the details, and today I'll share some TV series from Turkey. And I will be really glad to see some collaboration, especially from participants who are located in those countries. Maybe Turkish dramas or soap operas are famous, and so yeah. By the way, even though the title says soap operas, you can consider them as TV series, because maybe not all the shows cannot be listed as soap opera. Why do we call them soap opera, by the way? In Turkey, we don't call them soap opera. We call them maybe Pembe dizi or Pink serials, but it's a name originated in United States. Why? Because mainly main sponsors of these kind of shows were, you know, soap producers. That's why they were called soap operas. And for from time to time in different countries, different kind of soap operas were famous, and recent times, especially in the last 20 years, many Turkish soap or Turkish soap operas were famous in Turkey, and they were famous in all around the world. Okay. Today I will try to connect film industry to product placement. As you know, we all know this button, skip button on YouTube. Huh? First, they introduced ads, but you were able to skip the ads. After that, you were able to skip the ads after the 6 seconds, and they were more than one ad, etc. And somehow even all content on YouTube these days are commercialized, and either you need to pay and get a premium account, or you need to watch commercials on them. But as we know, as customers, as consumers, we tend to ignore commercials, advertisements. They directly come from producers or companies. So that's why many companies or brands, they try to somehow be noticed by customers, where product placement or brand placement plays a role. As you can see that here, according to recent estimates, there is a more than 20 billion industry for product placement. Sometimes it's easy to understand when there's a product placement, but sometimes lines are really blurred. For example, if you are really interested in here, there's a link and you can click and watch the shows yourself. BMW invited famous directors and celebrities from all over the world, and they acted and in short, let's say, movies. Even though they seem to be entertaining and entertainment, you know, they display the BMW cars there. Everyone knows that this comes from BMW. There are BMW cars, but it's difficult to decide whether it's an advertisement or it's just a show. It includes a brand in them. Okay, and here, since the topic is Turkey, and I will say a few words about Orhan Pamuk and his Museum of Innocence or Masumiyet Müzesi in Turkey. What happened, you know, if I think you are familiar with him, but if you are not, he is one of the Nobel Prize winners in literature, and he has written a book, a novel, a fiction, but what he did, he created a museum and he displayed objects he mentioned in his novel. Even though it was just a fiction, it was a novel, there's a museum today. You can go and visit the museum, and those displays were mentioned in the book. Also, you can buy either a Turkish or another copy of the book, and you can use the book as a ticket to enter to the museum. Okay, you can see there. All right, if we come to film tourism, maybe we will see different names for that. Sometimes it's called film induced or movie induced tourism. I don't know, things are changing right now, and many viewers from all over the world, they start consuming the content from some streaming services. Maybe we should name it content-induced tourism in coming days. But what we can say that it's just fall under the maybe umbrella of culture tourism with literature tourism together. All right. What happens? Sometimes it's intentionally or sometimes unintentionally. A place, a destination is used as a background in a movie or a show. And when viewers come across with this destination, they create an image in their mind. And if that image is positive and if that motivates them to visit that certain destination, they will come and visit that destination. But if it's considered in a holistic manner, the destination will benefit from these movies or the effects of the movies much better. As an example of New Zealand, we know they have a brand 100% New Zealand, and the trilogy, The Lord of the Rings, there's, you know, some scenes were captured, shoot in the New Zealand. And these days, if you visit New Zealand, you will see certain areas, certain tours that's based on, again, just an imagination, just a fiction. But as you can see here, there was a study, and this is an excerpt from one of the participants, and she said that for me to be able to walk onto those fields is magical because I keep turning around looking for Gandalf or Frodo or somebody. And yet at the same time, I'm able to bend down and touch the grass. Even though in the movies, those places were just fiction, as we see, visitors try to connect reality with fiction. I already talked about the image, and here I'll come to the Turkish or Turkiye TV series report. If you used to live as like United States or a Western European country, probably you are familiar with TV series around 40-45 minutes, even sometimes less. But in Turkey, TV series are usually long and they last from 2 to 3 hours. Okay, here are the statistics, a pie chart. And as you see, almost 25% last more than 2.5 hours. Thank God, yeah. We have only 1% show they last more than 3 hours. And here, the distribution of genres, TV series, as you see, 33% are romance and 31% belongs to comedy shows. And this report belongs to Deloitte Turkey, and the data is a little bit old, but it shows, it shows how many shows per year exported to other countries. The figure was around 400 million viewers around the world, but these days it's estimated around 800 million viewers. They viewed Turkish TV series all around the world. And these are, of course, based on the TV series, not including the streaming services such as Netflix, etc.
I'm sorry, Dr. Kışlalı, I give you just one more minute to finish your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, doctor. And here we can see effects of TV series in tourism. And according to the report, we can see that in just 1 or 2 years on Skyscanner, the travel or flight search to Turkey search in some countries around in some countries doubled and some countries it's tripled after the main after some TV series showed and viewed by many viewers. Here I will skip some details and you can see the presentation yourself, but I come across with an interesting news. In this article, there was a farmer, but he decided to sell his sheep because the show was very long and he was not able to weave the show. So he decided to sell his livestock all. I don't know whether it was real or not, but it was an article. And if you are interested in to watch them, wonder what kind of shows are them, here I included some links. You can go and see them by yourself. And if you are interested in the details of the report and some other studies about film tourism or the Turkish TV series, you can find the resources here. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Kışlalı. That was really interesting. And now we will go with Mr. Volkan Akgül.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir,
Yes.
we can.
Okay. Today I will talk about tourism sector and activities of Culture and Tourism Ministry to promote Turkiye. I would like to start with the information about the latest developments in tourism sector. As all you know, with the pandemic, tourism is one of the most affected sectors in the world, which impacted economies, airlines, hotels, and travel destinations all around the world. According to the ANTI statistics, international arrivals almost double in last year compared to the previous year. Also, estimates show that tourism statistic for 2019 can only be reached in 2024. As for the statistic of Turkey and the world, at the international tourist arrivals in 2022 compared to 2019, there was a 37% decrease in the worldwide, but there is a positive increase in Turkey. Last year, Turkey has 51 million international tourist arrivals compared to 2019. It seems that we have reached 2019 numbers. Turkish tourism statistic for last year. At the beginning of the last year, we set our target 42 million tourist arrivals and $32 billion revenue. But now we have exceeded our target as 51 million tourists and $46 billion by end of last year. As the ministry, main promotional activities are digital campaigns, TV media plans, PR activities, tourism fairs, press trips, and special projects. Under our promotion strategy, Tourism Promotion and Development Agency was established in 2019 to promote Turkey as a strong tourism brand and a popular destination. In this context, 20 billion impressions in 200 countries have been achieved with the digital campaigns. With the intensive TV campaigns, 9,000 GRP has been reached in 33 countries. We have joined in 15 important tourism fairs in 15 countries last year. In the printed media, advertisement and editorials have been published in 65 high-class magazines and newspapers in 17 countries. Why we do intensive global TV campaigns? We reach people at low cost and also it provides high prestiges. In this way, we have provided access to more than 1 billion people in the world with only 3 global TV channels. GoTurkiye.com has been created with the scope of digital platform management. Last year, we have reached 150 million unique users on digital page, and also our expectation is 200 million by the end of this year. The digital platform has more than 150 subtitles web page and content from 81 cities of Turkey. For brand collaborations with the private sector abroad, all around the world, cooperation and joint campaigns are organized with the airline companies and tour operators in 38 countries. Totally 142 collaborations with over 100 tour operators. With the PR events and press trip activities, journalists and influencers from all over the world are hosted every year in Turkey. Our end-of-year aim is to make press trips for 7,000 people from 85 countries in 81 cities. Our promotional campaigns also showed their effect during the pandemic period. As a result of intensive campaigns made during the pandemic period, it helped us to provide important advantage to rival countries. Our ministry attaches great importance to sustainable tourism. We aim to minimize the negative effects of tourism on society and the environment. We make projects to contribute to the local economy, to protection of natural and cultural heritage, and to increase the quality of life of the people of the region. Our ministry focuses on increasing the variety of products to spread tourism for 4 seasons. In this context, we aim to promote Turkey as a sub-brand destination and thematic. For example, sub-brands for Turkish Riviera, destinations for Taştepeler, and gastronomy for Istanbul, as becoming 38 destinations as Michelin Guide. For tourism project development, we have made in terms of increasing product diversity and development activities such as cycling, sports, faith, cruise, and cultural routes. We have also started the cultural route festivals in Istanbul, Ankara, Çanakkale, Konya, İzmir, Adana, and Diyarbakır in order to promote culture and artistic activities of Turkey in international arena. Finally, I would like to share a promotional video that we have prepared and shown on various platforms and TV channels all around the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your presentation. That was really good. And you just provide us with lots of statistics. That was really helpful. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Mr. Volkan Akgül. And we'll continue with Oğuzhan Ceylan. Are you on?
I'm coming.
Yeah, sure.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
It's coming up. Yes, we can see.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, due to health issues by my professor, Canan Tanrısever, I'm here to present you the cultural heritage in Turkey, Turkiye. I hope our teacher will get back to the good healthy days again as soon as possible. For this presentation, our subject is going to be about the UNESCO World Heritage List places in the country. There are 19 different spots in the country. 17 of these are cultural heritage. 2 of them are mixed heritage. Apart from these 19 spots, Turkey also has intangible heritage lists as well. To give a brief idea about these, we have got the list of the 17 in here. As an example, Aphrodisias archaeological sites in Troy, Ane, Aslantepe Mount, after Göbekli Tepe, the second zone where the early civilizations have settled. Bursa Cumalı Kızık, the birth of the Ottoman Empire, which is only 2 hours from Istanbul. City of Safranbolu with mansions, Diyarbakır fortresses, Ephesus ancient settlement, Göbekli Tepe settlement, enabled us to rewrite all the history books that's been written in the last 20 years, is changing everything. Great mosque and hospital of Divri in Sivas settlement. Abdusha, the of the Hittite Empire, as well as historic areas of Istanbul, which there are 4 different districts in the city under the protection of UNESCO World Heritage List. Nemrut Mountain, Neolithic site of Çatalhöyük, Pergamon, and multi-layered cultural landscapes. Selimiye Mosque in Edirne, Santos and Leton settlements in Muğla. These are 17 cultural heritage spots to be discovered. We have 2 mixed, which is both natural and historical importance of these are putting these 2 spots in the list. Göreme National Park and the rock sites of Cappadocia. Hierapolis ancient settlement with the natural beauty as well as historical sites remaining from the Roman era. And when it comes to the list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity, we have 16 spots for this. When it comes to this, we can mainly talk about cultural as well as both religious spots that Turkey has to offer, the traditions that people had invented and passed on to further generations are interesting spots by visitors to come and discover. As a licensed professional, without talking any of these subjects, we cannot complete history lessons with engaging these details to the living monuments, actually. Arts of the Meda public storytellers, Mevlevi Sema ceremonies, which are starting by Rumi in Anatolia district, Aşıklık minstrelsy tradition, Karagöz in the west part of the country, Kırkpınar oil wrestling festivals, which Turkish wrestling is famous all around the globe, Sema, Alevi and Bektashi rituals, traditional meetings and making chats about it, sohbet meetings are there. Ceremonial keşkek tradition, mesir macunu festivals, Turkish coffee culture and tradition, Ebru, in other words, marbling art, as well as we can also name calligraphy artists in these as well, but for sure Arabic countries are more successful than the Turkish ones in here. Flatbread making culture, lavash making culture, and yufka cultures. Nevroz, we can also say that New Year's spring celebrations, traditional craftsmanship of chini making, spring celebration, hidrelles. These are pretty much the titles to be talked about and what's registered by UNESCO World Heritage List. I want to go through several highlights of these sites to be visited in different parts of the country. First of all, the legend of us, for many, it can also be mentioned as the eighth wonder of the world as well. Hagia Sophia, living heritage, at the age of 1485 years old. Within 6th century, it turned out to be the world's biggest cathedral ever being built. And it then ranked as the second biggest one within the Seville Cathedral came into life. And now recently classed as the 4th biggest cathedral in the globe. Visits in Istanbul is never completed without visiting Hagia Sophia, there to talk about Turkey's tolerance for diverse religions. It's been a tradition for Ottomans to convert the biggest church of the city into a mosque for the Friday big gatherings, for the Friday afternoon prayers. And from the year of conquest, as 1453, 29th of May for ancient Constantinople, it had been converted into a mosque. Served as a mosque for 482 years in history, and by the order of the founder of the Republic, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, it had been converted into a museum in 1937. And currently, it's operating as an active mosque once again. What's most unique about this place is that it's there to combine both Christianity and Islam together in many aspects, and you can see the ruins of these together. And Hagia Sophia, while before the fall of Constantinople, had been the spot for coronation ceremonies of the Eastern Roman emperors on its Omphalion section with round shaped marbles out there. It was the spot for the governors, priests, the chief bishops, and the patriarch of Constantinople to take place and do this holy ceremony. It's a must for everyone, and Istanbul tours would generally start with this spot. Right opposite Hagia Sophia, the second most important structure by the edge of the historical peninsula would be the Blue Mosque of the city. The original name Sultan Ahmet Foundation, early 17th century by the 14th Sultan of the Ottoman dynasty. With its interior decoration, it's hosting over 200,000 blue tiles. That's why it's known to be the Blue Mosque of Istanbul, because the full title as Sultan Ahmet Complex is really hard for visitors to remember. And Dan Brown very first called this structure the Blue Mosque, and ever since it's mentioned as Blue Mosque of Istanbul. With its 6 minarets, it's the very first 6-minareted mosque built by Turks, and after Mecca, it has the title of being the second 6-minareted mosque in the globe. This is another must to be visited in Istanbul, and there comes Kora Monastery. Kora Monastery is by the city walls of Constantinople, by the land walls that are still upstanding, and it has got the mosaic of Wedding at Cana, which is very unique for Byzantium art to be mentioned. Kora Monastery has got biblical mosaics into it, apart from the daily life of Jesus Christ, as well as miracles, and it has got the portraits of the ancestors of Jesus Christ into it as well. With these images that are remaining with it, it's one of the most unique churches to be visited in the city or in the country. Then rest of the structures are mainly going to be in the central Anatolia or mainland of Republic of Turkey. Here comes another structure as Ulu Mosque from Bursa. From 15th century, Grand Mosque of Bursa is another UNESCO protected site. On its mimbar, it has got the globe and the stars that had been pictured with it. And the mimbar itself is from the 14th century as well. And this structure, while rest of the world is not dealing with the space, seeing them on an art of a minber is quite interesting, and it had caught attention by UNESCO as well. The stars on the minber of it represents Neptune, Uranus, Venus, Sun, the Earth, and the movement, as well as a far planet, Pluto, had also been covered with it as well on the solar system of Uludağ, Ulu Mosque of Bursa settlement, which was the first capital of the Ottoman Empire. In the central Anatolia region, there comes another area as Cappadocia, with 3 of the volcanic mountains nearby the area erupted within 60 million years ago. The area of Cappadocia ended up drying out with the tufa and the basalt rocks fluxing out from the eruption of the volcanoes. And this region had been shaped for hundreds of thousands of years and millions of years with eruption from wind, rain, and the fall around it. The basalt rock stayed at top, and the tufa turned these shapes into a fairy chimney shape. There are several other stops on the globe which also has got the similar rock formations, but the early Romans or even Hittites, Phrygians living in the area had shaped the area with making houses into these tufas, making churches into these tufas or temples into these tufa formations, which makes Cappadocia a really unique site to be. Cappadocia and its region is hosting hundreds of churches. Early Byzantine
I'm sorry,
Mr.
Ceylan. We just need to finish it, but I'm just giving you 1 more minute. Is it okay?
Sure, thank you. I'm trying my fastest.
Okay, thank you.
Interior to one of the sites, Dark Church is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. All the interior frescoes are in a really good condition. In Mediterranean region, in Antalya, Patara, home of the birthplace of Santa Claus, Father Christmas. Aspendos Theater in Antalya, again by the Mediterranean coast, is one of the most important sites to be visited. St. Pierre Church is the very first spot where the word Christos was used by St. Peter. Pergamon on the west coast of Turkey has got the steepest amphitheater ever being built by the ancient Greeks. Göbekli Tepe is the home of 10,000-year-old temples, which are the earliest temples ever known. Ağrı as a city and İshak Pasha Palace, after Topkapı Palace foundation, is the second largest palace complex of Ottoman palace architecture. Divri Mosque in Sivas, with its golden gates, it has got the best workmanship of Islamic art. Ephesus, Celsius Library. Troy, where whole globe knows about with its famous series taking afterwards, is also by Dardanelles Strait. There comes Selimiye Mosque, masterpiece of the legendary architect of Ottoman history, architect Sinan, and as well as two of the 7 wonders of the ancient world is also located in west coast of Turkey. To be able to give you a full cover of what Turkey has to offer, we would have to go on a 7-week bus vacation, and I would be able to complete my sentences. But yet, in this short term, I've tried my best for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was really great, and you gave us lots of details, and it was really intriguing. Thank you so much again. And now we have Dr. Arif Gökçe.
Hello. It is okay, by the way.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to try to share my screen first. Please forgive me.
We can see it.
We can see it now. Still, we don't have it. Yes.
Can you see all the slides?
Yes. Yes. Perfect.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. And I'd like to thank all the participants and speakers up to now. They have provided us with the very valuable information. And my subject is prevailing tourism types in Turkey. My name is Akif Gökçe. I work as an assistant professor, as I said before. I am from Sakarya University of Applied Sciences. The first one, I'd like to talk about 9 main tourism types, actually, but some of them are mentioned by Mr. Oğuzhan Ceylan, Mr. Hüseyin Pamukçu, Ms. Demet Genceli, etc. I like to pass them fast as far as I can. The first one, the first tourism type I like to talk about is culture and city tourism. Turkey has a past of 13 big civilizations, and so we have historical and cultural values belonging to 3 big Abrahamic religions. There are 171 ongoing archaeological excavation. There are hundreds of museums. There are 98 antique cities. There are art activities like exhibition, biennales, carnivals, etc. And the first one I'd like to talk about was the 19 sites in UNESCO World Heritage list and where they are in Turkey map. But Mr. Oğuzhan Ceylan give a detailed information about them. I'd like to just show you their places on the map. The first one is Göreme National Park and the rock sites of Cappadocia. It is in the central Anatolia region in Nevşehir. The second one is Great Mosque and Hospital of Divri. It is in, again, central Anatolia region and in Sivas. The third one is historic areas of Istanbul. As everybody knows where Istanbul is, it is in Marmara region on the northwest part of Turkey. The next one is Hattusha, the Hittite capital. It is in Çorum, in Black Sea region. The next one is Nemrut Mountain. It is in Adıyaman, in southeastern Anatolia region. The next one is Hierapolis, Pamukkale. It is in Aegean region in Denizli. The next one is Santos and Leto. It is between Aegean and Mediterranean region, between Antalya and Muğla. Next one is city of Safranbolu. It is in Black Sea region in Karabük, in the city of Karabük. The next one is archaeological site of Troy. It is in Çanakkale in Marmara region in the northwest part of Turkey. And Selimiye Mosque, it is in Edirne in Marmara region again. And then we have Neolithic site of Çatalhöyük. It is in central Anatolia region in Konya. And Bursa and Cumalı Kızık, it is in Bursa in Marmara region. Next one is Pergamon and its multi-layered cultural landscape. It is in Aegean region in the city Izmir, Bergama actually. The 14th one is Diyarbakır Fortress. It is in Diyarbakır in southeastern Anatolia region. The 15th one is Ephesus. It is again in Izmir, in Aegean region. Archaeological site of Ani, it is in eastern Anatolia region in Kars, in city Kars. The next one is Aphrodisias. It is in Aydın, in Aegean region. And the next one is Göbekli Tepe. It is in Şanlıurfa, southeastern Anatolia region. And the last one is Aslantepe Mount. It is in Malatya in eastern Anatolia region. There are also, these are mentioned about Mr. Oğuzhan Ceylan. I'd like to add there are also 84 sites in UNESCO World Heritage tentative list. These are registered list, which is in UNESCO, but we have 84 sites in tentative list. The next type is religious and belief tourism, and it was mentioned again, we have a lot of monuments to Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The first four is Hagia Sophia, Sultanahmet, Ordu Mosque, Süleymaniye, and Aya Erini Church. They are all in Istanbul. And Church of Santa Claus, it is in Antalya. And we have churches in Cappadocia, it is in Nevşehir. And we have Ephesus and the House of Virgin Mary, they are in Izmir. We have Church of St. Pierre Church, it is in Antakya, in Mediterranean region. And Selimiye Mosque in Edirne. Mevlevi Lodge, it is in Konya, Central Anatolia region. Devrul Zafaran Monastery, it is in Mardin, in southeastern Anatolia region. Sümele Monastery, it is in Trabzon, in Black Sea region. Harran, it is in Şanlıurfa. And Divri Mosque and Hospital, it is in Sivas. The next one is health and thermal tourism type. In terms of richness and potential of geothermal resources, Turkey is ranked as the first in Europe and the 7th in the world. We have more than 200 thermal facilities in about 46 cities. We have spa opportunities, balneotherapy centers, Turkish baths, and we have 47 hospitals accredited by the Joint Commission of Accreditation of Healthcare Organization. We have 4 thermal tourism regions, which is decided by the Ministry of Culture. And the first one is South Marmara. It covers the cities Balıkesir, Çanakkale, and Yalova. The next thermal tourism regions is South Aegean region. It covers the cities Aydın, Denizli, Manisa, and Izmir. The third one is Phrygian region. It covers Afyonkarahisar, Ankara, Uşak, Eskişehir, Kütahya. Among them, Afyonkarahisar is the most well-known thermal tourism region in Turkey. And the last one is Central Anatolia region. It covers the cities Aksaray, Kırşehir, Niğde, Nevşehir, and Yozgat, and its places is seen on the map. Sea tourism, we have 8,332 kilometers coastline as a country, and we have 519 blue flag beaches, and Turkey is ranked the 3rd in the world. We have 32 marina, 22 of them are with blue flags. And we also have 6 yachts and 10 sustainable tourism boats honored with the blue flag label. As for climatic conditions, natural beauties, new and modern accommodation facilities, and high quality service, sea tourism is very popular in Turkey as a tourism type. And we have destinations Antalya and Alanya, Izmir and Çeşme, Bodrum in Muğla, Fethiye in Aegean region and Mediterranean, Kuşadası in Aydın, Marmaris in Muğla, Didim in Aydın, Side in Antalya, Mersin as a city by itself, and Belek in Antalya. The next tourism type is winter tourism. We have main winter tourism centers in Turkey. Among them are Palandöken in Erzurum, in Eastern Anatolia region, and Uludağ in Bursa, in Marmara region, Kartalkaya in Bolu, in Black Sea region, Erciyes in Kayseri, in Central Anatolia region, Sarıkamış in Kars, Eastern Anatolia region, Davras in Sparta in Mediterranean region, and Bozda in Karaman, it is in Central Anatolia region. These are the main winter tourism centers. The next tourism type is golf tourism.
I'm sorry, Dr. Gökçe. You just have one more minute to wrap up. Is it okay?
Okay, I'll try my best. We have 18 golf facilities. Most of them are in Belek, and 2 of them are in Istanbul and 1 in Bodrum. The next one is shopping tourism. We have historical shopping bazaars, both in Istanbul, Izmir, Ankara, and Gaziantep. We, again, Congress and Expo tourism type in Turkey. We have modern convention facilities in 5-star hotels, both in Istanbul, Antalya, Izmir, and Ankara. All of them are among the biggest cities in Turkey. And gastronomy tourism, as Mr. Hüseyin Pamukçu mentioned about it, there are lots of gastronomic tastes and products in Turkey. But as for cities, Gaziantep and Hatay are well known. But in terms of gastronomic tourism, we have to take all the country, actually. But these are not the only tourism types prevailing in Turkey. Both ecotourism, plateau, yacht, camping and caravaning, and glamping, hunting tourism, etc. There are so many types. You can find any kind of experience in Turkey, both adventure, excitement, exploration, etc. And you can come to Turkey by means of any kind of transportation. Thanks a million for your patience. And that's it.
Thank you, Dr. Gökçe. That was really good. And we have come to the end. I'm going to do the last presentation, if I can. Can you see my presentation at the moment?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. So first of all, I'm sorry that the previous colleagues have made great contributions to the webinar, and they have shown you a lot of colorful images and great topics. But I'm going to drag you into a little bit theoretical sides of tourism. So today I'm going to be talking about organizational design and the importance. And I just want to cut it short, and so let me start with what is dissent. What is dissent? So dissent is actually an act of expression of various opinions in common or in official gatherings. It's an act of sharing the personal ideology of an individual or a group to a larger group, which could lead into better solution. So the dissent, the term dissent may be 1,000 years older, but the act of dissent exists long before we discover the will. So when we think about the word dissent, the term, it comes to, it sounds like a malign and not a positive word, negative word. When we come to organizational climate, organizational atmosphere, it is the expression of disagreement or contradictory opinions about organizational policies, practice, and operations. Practices refer to informal ways of doing things or getting tasks done as employees because they try to figure out better ways to accomplish a task. Think about an organization. So you want to figure out, you want to fulfill your task. So when you meet a contradictory position, then you try to express your opinion. So this is what comes out as the dissent. Dissent is a form of employee voice. So here they have to voice their dissent to a person, and it must be a disagreement or contradictory opinion, and must be about an organization's policies, practice, and procedures. And dissent could be with as a moral obligation, because whenever an employee is in an organizational situation, he sees that something is not functioning, so, or something malfunctions, so he feels that, or he or she feels that there is something that needs to be done, so it's a kind of moral obligation or political right or enlightened management practice, a minor inconvenience, a punishable violation, policy, loyalty. So is it really valuable? Yes, it is really valuable because it holds the potential to improve organizational performance by providing information that improves decision quality, and it actually helps the organization for the democratization of the organization, and it also contributes to discerning the issues in the organization and adopting imperative precautions for the solution of these problems and development of the organization. The companies that manage organizational dissent can adapt to the changes faster and gain an advantage over the competitors. And Shannon Crutcher says that no matter how well designed and organized the organizations can be, they may fail to accommodate the needs of the parties involved if they're at odds with sound, moral, and decent conducts. So there is a need that employee voice need to be heard. When employees face situations that create dissatisfaction in the workplace, it is required that managers give a voice to the employees to let them say something and understand and manage all their disagreements. And organizational dissent serves as an indicator. So you learn about what's going on in an organization. When an expression of the organizational dissent takes place, it displays the quality of employees' relationship with your supervisors in this respect. The organizational dissent has a negative meaning as an expression, but it is important in terms of communication. And organizational dissent can be valuable and constructive form of communication in organizations because it is influenced by various communication factors. It is actually a kind of message given to the managers by the employees. If managers fail to understand and use dissenting employees correctly, it causes organization to lose their chance to benefit from them. Let me pass these parts. So briefly, it is observed that employees who maintain quality relation with their managers are in managerial positions and participate more in the decision-making process. They have higher job satisfaction and organizational commitment. Then the question comes, why does this dissent come out? Okay, so there are some triggering factors. So the first one is behaviors towards the employee. So if he or she has got problem about with the managers or with other co-workers, the other one is organizational change. There may be some changes in the organization or decision-making process. If he or she is not included, so it can also be a problem. Ineffectiveness, acting angry because inefficient business practices or the practice that is applied in the office may not be applicable, not be efficient. Responsibility and the role. So the duties, the roles, the responsibilities given to the employee. Organization resources, the number or the extent of the resources provided to the employee may be confrontational, and ethical practices, and these are expected to come into effect within the organization. And performance evaluation, acting because the internal work or the performance appraisal process does not work, and preventing damage, exchange ideas on what can be done to avoid putting yourself. All right, so there are some types of organizational dissent. So the first one is upward, the second was lateral or latent, and the third one is displaced. And all these change. The first one is upward, which is the most preferred one, because the dissent is when the members of the organization express their views or opinions directly to the directly to the person, to the boss, or to the manager, and to the people who are above them in the organizational hierarchy. And these are managers, supervisors. The other one is latent. Not all employees can or will descend upwards, because descending is a little bit risky and can be penalized by the managers. So it happens when an employee express their disagreement, contradict opinion to co-worker at the same level. And the final one is displaced descent. So this is told to people outside the work environment, like people outside the organization, such as family members or close friends. So why is organizational descent important for tourism industry? First of all, employees can determine who to talk to about their concerns and problems, and who to express these concerns. And the other one, employees may, if they're not given a voice, they may withhold information about the potential problems in the organization, or organizational silence may happen. And it also has the potential to improve organizational performance. If you let them speak, they will give you a chance to solve, figure out the problems in the office, in the organizational atmosphere. The dissent can help generate new ideas and options. So this means that organizational creativity is going to happen. Employees who are comfortable expressing their dissenting opinions are more hardworking, loyal to the organization, motivated and talented. And we can also call it as a feedback system. Okay. So managerial, this organizational dissent has managerial outcomes. So if the business hear the voice of the employees, and then the creative ideas and better thoughts can be flourished. At the same time, innovation is encouraged and higher productivity is fostered in the organization. And managers in the tourism industry should establish a workplace policy by which the employees may understand that they will not be penalized by expressing dissent. This is important because if an employee is suspicious about being penalized or not, then probably he or she will withhold the information or the problem. Then again, organizational dissent, silence will come out. Because the mentioned internal policy may serve for an outstanding advantage in the long-term performance of the organization and survival of the organization as well. And managers in the tourism industry should know that there will be no innovation and creativity in an organization if no dissent exists. If different opinions are not allowed to be voiced explicitly or encouraged, then the organization may fail to learn from its environment, and job satisfaction will be low, and this state may help reduce labor burnout. So if organizational dissent is avoided, then a burnout level can be reduced. And for the last two, and managers in tourism industry should establish friendship in their relations with your subordinates, and it's necessary to conduct business in good relationship with managers, subordinates, because this leads to decrease in the organizational dissent levels of the employees. And employees should not be silent. Don't let them be silent, and let them express their thoughts to the managers, and should not hide their thoughts and express their thoughts to the managers clearly. A suitable organizational climate need to be created by managers, and it can be commented that positive leadership behaviors of the managers will improve the organization climate, and a good work environment in the organization may be achieved. So I hope I didn't make you feel bored. Thank you for listening to me.
Okay, please stop your power. Okay, very good. Thank you so much. It was so interesting. Thank you, Dr. Engin, for the great moderation, and thank you all the speakers. And Turkey is a great country. I've visited many times, and definitely I will go back. And all the people is a great country, and with the lovely food and great and friendly people. I want to thank everybody. Also, Dr. Taleb Faida is still here with us. Thank you so much. And I don't know if there are some questions or some closing remarks from anybody. Please go ahead. Anybody want to ask any questions before we leave?
Dr. Sultani, I just read a few messages that the cooperations have already started to be carried out. So that's wonderful.
That's great, sure. And everybody has a page, profile page. You can also contact each other. You can see the bios, and the recording will be in few hours, will be live on the website. So you can watch it, and all the PowerPoints. So thank you so much. I don't know if somebody have any question. Yes, sir, please.
It's me, yes. It is not a question, but it is a desire. As a tradition of Turkish hospitality. So I'm asking my question first, all the honored guest participant, Secretary General. And the question is this: as Turkish hospitality, we invite you to Turkey, and when are you planning to visit Turkey, where the culture meets and the nature refresh the people, and the capital, tourism capital of Antalya? When are you coming? I invite you, Secretary General, and you, Dr. Zah, and all participants. Yes.
I have been to Turkey several times. It's a wonderful country, as Mr. Rida said. But the point is that we heard today about so many aspects of this tourism sector there. We heard about the camps, and we heard about many other things. So what I want to say here is that Turkey is a country. You don't go to places to see the nature only, because the nature can be similar in any other place. You can find beaches anywhere in the world. You can find mountains anywhere in the world. You can find rivers anywhere in the world. But you will not find the Turkish people anywhere in the world, except in Turkey. You will not find the history of Turkey, the culture of Turkey, except in Turkey. And the tourist must come to see and experience that culture. And he must change to adapt to that culture. Culture must not change to cater for him or her. That's not right. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you very much for everybody. Thank you particularly for including me. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much. God bless the Turkish people and the beautiful country of Turkey.
Thank you.
All humanity. Yes.
Bye. See you.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
all.
everybody.
Thank you for the
Bye,
participation.
everybody. And
Bye-bye.
happy Water
Bye.
Rabbit Year 20 from the Chinese. Happy New
Yeah.
Year.
Thank you. Bye.
Absolutely.
Have a nice day, everybody.
Hello, I have one question.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, I'm Kandana from Ethiopia in East Africa. As we know, Ethiopia is rich in cultural and natural tourism resources. But the problem is that still tourism development in Ethiopia is it is at its infancy stage. It is not developed still. There are different tourist attraction areas. There are different potential tourism resources, but still they are not accessible to the tourists and also for visitors. What will be the problem for this one? I don't know who will be answer this one.
May I?
Yes, please.
Reza, may I? Okay. I've been to Ethiopia and I've been to Turkey. The difference there is not in the culture, not in the people, but the difference is in the government. How do governments look at tourism? Do they take tourism seriously? The government in Turkey takes tourism very seriously, from top to bottom. In Ethiopia, they don't do that. In Ethiopia, it's not taken care of. And if governments don't take care of this sector, the sector will never flourish. That's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So with this, we close the session. Thank you so much. And everything will be online. And also thank you, Professor Wolfgang and all the other scholars from Turkey. Thank you so much. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Greetings.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.